In today's episode, we're going to explore how you can become the most confident version of yourself, feel empowered, and unstoppable. Very heavy words, I know, but I believe we all have the capability to completely transform ourselves into our best versions, and that's what we're going to explore today. Stay longer for a life changing story that happened to me and changed my life forever. Okay, now picture this. Susan Boyle walks into Britain's Got Talent, not so confident and underestimated, but the moment she starts to sing, she stuns everyone. Why? She embraced her unique voice, her individuality, and rocked her performance. Studies in psychology have shown that embracing your unique qualities can significantly boost your confidence. So here's a challenge for you. Write down 3 things that make you stand out. It might be your sense of humor, your dressing style, or even just your capability to solve puzzles. Embrace these qualities. So the first step is to recognize and embrace your uniqueness. But how do we deal with people who doubt us? Ever notice how if you're in a bad mood in the morning, it can spoil your entire day? That's no magic. It's your mindset. Our thoughts have the power to shape our experiences. This concept, deeply rooted in cognitive psychology, shows that positive thinking can alter our perception and impact our reality. Every morning, I stand in front of the mirror, I tell myself I am unstoppable. I know I sound cheesy, but hear me out. This small act sets the tone for the day. It reminds me the standard that I want to have for myself. And once I set that standard, I have to kind of follow through. So if you want to feel unstoppable, start by just creating a simple positive affirmation and begin your day with it. And when you say this positive affirmation, believe in it with every cell in your body. Believe that you're unstoppable. Believe that you have no fear and you can overcome anything. And I'm pretty sure that if you're in your 20s, you must have gone through 1 or 2 experiences that were so terrifying in the moment that you thought, this is it. I'm never gonna get past this. I'm never gonna get through this. But you did. And yet, here you are, listening to me, trying to improve yourself, work on yourself, learning and growing. It's a small step that can lead to big changes. But remember, even those filled with confidence, beaming of confidence, have their hidden battles. Here's another challenge that most self assured people also face. So, let me tell you this one time when I entered a cooking contest. I was so confident in my recipe, but when the results came out, my dish looked more like a disaster. It was embarrassing. It taught me how to laugh at myself and learn from a mistake. It's like the story of J.K. Rowling. She faced rejection after rejection before finally publishing Harry Potter. She never let failure stop her. What neuroscience tells us is that when we reframe our failures into learning opportunities, our brain creates new pathways, making us more adaptable and resilient. So the next time you face a setback, write it down. Look at it not as a failure, but as a lesson. This small shift in perspective can have a profound effect on how you tackle challenges. Another important aspect of your self confidence is how resilient you are. Take Michael Jordan, for example. He didn't make his high school basketball team, yet he didn't give up and he trained harder and eventually became a legend. It's about not letting the setbacks keep you down. I recently tried something completely out of my comfort zone, salsa dancing. I was awkward, I missed the steps, but I laughed and I learned. Neuroscience also shows that trying new things is like stimulating your brain, fostering growth. So your challenge for this week is to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. Watch as it transforms your outlook. There I was standing on the highest diving board I've ever seen. My heart was pounding in my chest. Heights have always been my nemesis. But that day, I took a deep breath and jumped. I was not backing down. I knew I had to do it. I knew I was gonna feel amazing after I did it. And no doubt, it was scary, but the feeling afterwards was indescribable. A mix of fear, excitement, and the adrenaline rush. When we face our fears, we're not just being brave, we're actually rewiring our brain to handle stress and anxiety better. This approach is also called exposure therapy, and it teaches us that a little push can help us overcome even our deepest fears. So, all the points that I mentioned, if they seem daunting, obviously you're thinking of tomorrow and jumping off a cliff to boost my confidence. To that, I'll say start with baby steps. As simple as keeping the promises you make to yourself. Ever told yourself that you're gonna start a new diet, learn a new language, or wake up early only to push it off? We've all been there, but here's the thing. When you keep a promise to yourself, it's like telling your brain, hey, I can trust me. I will show up for myself. And this builds a strong foundation. As simple as that. I learned this the hard way. I promised myself I'll run a 5K. Days turned into weeks. Never got to it. I kept putting it off. One day, just laced up my shoes, walked out of the door, did a little warm up, and started running. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, so set a small, achievable goal right now and go do it. Whether it's reading a book or just tidying up your space. When you say you're gonna do something, do it. Because the things that we promise to ourselves and do not end up doing, they take a lot of space in our minds. You might be able to put it off, but it'll be there in the back of your mind. And it takes a lot of energy, I would say. So why not just cross it off and start that and build that reward system with yourself? And every single time you cross off something off your list, finish that task that you promised to yourself, your brain will automatically release dopamine, which will in turn motivate you to cross off more things, reach more goals, and to do more tasks and put in more efforts. Today we learned to embrace our unique, think positively, view failures as lessons, and this builds a strong foundation of self-trust and confidence.